In any relationship, there is a commitment that's made, whether that commitment is made for the purpose of work, family, socially. We all have to make commitments to have certain people in our life, accomplish certain goals. We set apart ourselves, dedicate ourselves, if you will, to particular people for particular purposes. We're holy. It's important to understand that if you're going to be in a relationship with anyone, that you should make a commitment. If there are any walls between you two, again, work, personally, socially, whatever, you're the reason, the person with the wall, that there can't be multiplication. Because you're busy instead of making a commitment. Now, what are you busy doing? You could be busy feeling the other person out. But the commitment is the relationship. The very commitment itself. It's not the individuals, it's not about the individuals, it's about the collective actions, the tying together of two parties. And again, you can call this something that's based upon a he-she thing, but it's not. This is not a he-she thing when we're talking about the grain offering, the meat offering. No, this is about a mirroring thing. This is about a commitment so that you can be what I am in heaven on earth. I need you to represent me. I would say to people that I was in commitment with, and a lot of them didn't understand it when I was saying it. If you're here and I'm there, it's like me and you being in the same place, because I represent you over there and you represent me over here. If there's a commitment, as a business consultant, I spent a lot of time trying to get my clients to understand the power of that commitment. As an apostle, I spend a lot of time with my guys in Kenya, because I'm not an apostle here in America. I'm not recognized by anyone, even though I'm ordained as a minister a couple times over. But I spent a lot of time with the guys in Kenya getting them to understand that if there's a commitment, it's like me being there. but you have to align your spirit up with the party that you're committed to. Now, this is true in a marriage, but this is just how it should be, period, within the kingdom of God. If we're going to represent the kingdom of heaven, then we should be living by the same statutes, procedures, processes. Levi chapter 6. Verse 14 says, "And this, the law of the meat offering, the sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord, before the altar." The meat offering is made up of 3 parts. 4 parts if you're counting the altar itself. 5 parts if you're counting the container. It can be baked or pan fried. It's like hot water cornbread. Actually, hot water wheat bread. It's made up of finely ground flour, oil, and frankincense. Cut up into pieces. Reason why is because every male representing God as a priest in his temple. Not sure I should get into that, but I kind of want to dissect that just a little bit so you understand. Keep it in mind, the temple is a representation of the presence, I want to say the body of God, walking with you in a mobile facility as you're on your way to your destiny. Because keep in mind what we talked about with the tabernacle, the tabernacle of the congregation, with the tent made of fine linen, with the sockets, with the Ark of the Covenant, burnt offering, incense. This is a picture of the body of God. If you want to try to, create a shell to place him in, it would be this temple. Or this tabernacle. But with that said, the representatives, which are Aaron and his sons, who operate within this body, their job is to set themselves apart so that they can do the work of the ministry, which is serving God by serving man. It's a complicated job, as you all know. It's not easy, because it's very easy to fall back into your flesh. And there can be no flesh in serving God. The grain offering being made up of these parts, the flour, the oil, and the frankincense, is to be burned on the altar. Sweet smell. And the remaining portion of that is to go to Aaron and his sons for them to partake in the offering itself too. So part goes to God, and another part goes to his representatives in his temple. It's a commitment that they make to God. This is a commitment forever. What is it? I'm challenging myself now because I'm having fun. What is this commitment that they're making with the grain offering, with the meat offering? It's right there in the title, which is called the meat offering. The meat offering itself is just the flour, the oil, and the frankincense. And the oil and the frankincense having their own words, in other words. So really it's just the ground up flour. So if you can imagine being threshed on the threshing floor as wheat, and then going through the threshing and separating yourself from the chaff, I think it's called chaff, and being threshed because you're wheat. Well, maybe you're not wheat, but you know what I mean. And then that wheat being grounded down, fine flour, and then being mixed with the oil. Now, some of you experienced scholars understand exactly what I'm saying. Some of you are going to have to study to show yourself approved. But what's beautiful is that God mixes in the frankincense. All together, and he burns it. And then he asks Aaron and his sons' legacy to partake. And this do forever.